here in Iowa. This is Rebecca Haney. She's a mother of 6 and the podcaster from Ogden. She owns a security company. She serves on her county Republican committee. She's worked for conservative advocacy groups such as Personhood Iowa. Rebecca.
Strong woman, and I love it.
Well,
keep it up.
I can see that we're two of a kind here. Thank you for answering real questions from real Iowans. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And as Jake mentioned, I'm one of a huge contingent of pro-life voters in Iowa, and we just really want to know, what is your plan for effective protection for preborn lives? Could you share your plan with us?
Absolutely. So I am unapologetically pro-life. But I'm not pro-life because the Republican Party tells me to be. I'm pro-life because my husband was adopted. I'm pro-life because I had trouble having both of my children. So I am surrounded by blessings. Having said that, I don't judge anyone for being pro-choice any more than I want them to judge me for being pro-life. If you look at the situation of the life abortion story that we have today, how did we get to where we are? First of all, prior to 1973, you had 46 different state laws that dealt with life and dealt with abortion. And the people decided what those were going to be. Roe v. Wade came in and threw out 46 state laws and suddenly said abortion anytime, anywhere, for any reason. And all Americans had to succumb to that. We don't want unelected justices deciding something this personal. This is a personal issue for every woman and man in America, and it should be treated with the respect that way. So now that the unelected justices are out there, and it's back in the hands of the people of the states, which is where it should be, there are some states that have become more pro-life, and I welcome that. And there's some states that have been more on the abortion side. I wish that wasn't the case, but that's what happened. The question that everybody is talking about is there a federal role for this? And I think that there is a federal role for this. But if we're going to do that, you have to be honest with the American people of what it takes to do that. In order to pass anything, you have to have a majority of the House, you have to have 60 Senate votes, and you have to have a signature of a president. We haven't had 60 pro-life senators in over 100 years. We might have 45. So if you look at it from that standpoint, don't let anyone in the media, don't let any political party tell you that a Republican president can ban abortion laws in our country, because they can't any more than a Democrat president can ban our state laws. So what can we do with consensus? That's exactly what it is. We come through with consensus and say, what can we all agree on? I think we can all agree on banning late-term abortions. I think we can all agree on encouraging adoptions and making sure those foster kids feel more love, not less. I think we can agree on doctors and nurses who don't believe in abortion shouldn't have to perform them. I think we can agree on the fact that contraception should be accessible. And I think we can all come together and say any woman that has an abortion shouldn't be jailed or given the death penalty. Can't we start there? Can't we start there? Because what the politicos and what the media have done is they've made you demonize the situation when it's so personal that we have to humanize the situation. Our goal should always be, how do we save as many babies as we can and support as many mothers in that process as we do it?
So just over a week ago, your successor and former lieutenant governor in South Carolina signed a bill to ban nearly all abortions after 6 weeks in South Carolina. You say that you would support a federal ban in theory, but there aren't the 60 votes because there isn't a national consensus.
I think we have to say, where are they all going to come together? What can we get 60 votes on and then go forward?
So do you have an opinion, though? if a 6-week ban theoretically came to your desk, would you sign it?
But why? I will answer that when you ask Kamala and Biden if they would agree to 37 weeks, 38 weeks, 39 weeks. Then I'll answer your question. No one asked them that. No one asked them how late they're willing to go. What I'm saying is, why go and put the American people through that? Why do that? Why not talk about what's the truth? And the truth is, where can we get 60 votes? I just gave you the consensus about where I think we can come together.
I think Biden and Harris have been pretty clear that they don't support any restrictions. I mean, that's their.
They said abortion up until the time of birth, right?
I don't think that's the language they use, but yes, I mean, theoretically,
Right?
they don't support restrictions. They say it should be up to a woman, her doctor, and her God. That's what they say.
And I think that's the conversation we need to have, is that they agree with abortions up until the time of birth, and most Americans do not agree with that.
So Supreme Court Justice John Roberts, he tried to steer a path for the Supreme Court of about a 15-week ban, which is originally what Mississippi was proposing. And then Mississippi realized they could get Roe v. Wade overturned, and they moved forward even more aggressively. Is that where you think a national consensus would be? I understand you're saying it's up to where you can get 60 votes, but in your view, you must have an opinion. Is 15 weeks where it would be, theoretically?
I haven't talked to the senators. I don't know where 60 votes are. What I will tell you is I want to save as many babies as we can and support as many mothers as we can. I'm not going to throw out a number, because if you don't talk with those senators and know where their head's at and know what they're really willing to do, then we're having a false conversation and having a debate that's only dividing people, and it's not bringing people together.
So let's talk to an Iowan.